Hello?
Hi, is this Kelly?
Yeah, who is this?
Hey, Kelly, good morning. My name is Fred. I'm calling from The Fred Show, the morning radio show. The whole crew is here, and I have to tell you that we are on the radio right now, and I would need your permission to continue with the call. Can we chat for just a second? Would you mind?
Sorry, what is this about?
I'll take that as a yes. So we're calling on behalf of a dude named Ross. I guess you matched with this guy on a dating app, and then you exchanged numbers, and we're talking about a date. Do you remember this whole process?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, what happened? Because Ross reached out to us and said that you guys, I guess, matched and were chatting, and then he got your number, and then you were on text talking about a date. You were planning a date, and then you disappeared. So you kind of ghosted him before you ever met, it seems like. And he's curious, and we're all curious kind of as to why. What happened?
Okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, I mean, he seemed like a great guy to me. But after a few days, I realized he's just a lot. Like, there's no other way to put it. He's just too much for me.
What does that mean? How can you know that via text? Like, I can see if you met someone and their personality was over the top, or you weren't vibing, there was no in-person chemistry. But how do you know he's too much over text?
Totally. So yeah, so I did give him my number. Because, it's just much easier to communicate off the app. And, I literally, like, the first night after I gave him my number, I looked at my phone and I saw he was calling me like around 9 p.m. And I was like, that's a little bit much.
Well, so we led with a phone call, which
scary.
It's frightening for a lot of people these days.
It's a stranger, like so I answered. I don't even know why. And he was like, just calling to say goodnight. Which
okay.
I thought was odd, and I'm guessing by your laughs is also you think is odd. It was odd for him to call me in the first place, right? Let alone at 9 p.m. just to say goodnight. And like at this point, we're still strangers. But I let it go, and I was like, maybe he's just super excited for Saturday. Like, I'll chalk it up to that. And so. Yeah, but then he proceeded to call me every single night to say goodnight until Friday, until the day before the date.
I mean, he wanted to make sure you had a good night, like he did, he wanted to.
Oh, 9 o'clock phone call is so scary.
Especially from a stranger.
It's so scary. And 5 nights in a row?
Right.
Whoa.
Like, that's really extra. So I honestly, the fifth time I let it go to voicemail and I blocked him because I was just like, this is the foot we're getting off on? This is not right.
There's nobody in my life who wants me to have that good of a night, like under any circumstances.
5 days in a row. I kind of love it. And I only say that.
A nightly phone call from someone you've never met?
Well, the date didn't happen. So my only thing is, like, I think maybe he was excited, but also, like, we don't call enough anymore, I feel. Like, when you're first dating, I don't think we call enough. My husband, who I married to, did not call
Your husband who you're married to is supposed to...
Yes.
Okay, good.
My husband, you're married to your husband?
I wanted to be clear on which husband we were talking about, the one that you're married to.
I got married, okay?
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You did? Damn it, you pulled a Kiki. When did this happen?
I am a married woman, and I still feel like when we first started dating, he did not call, and I didn't like that. If he would have called prior to the date, I think that'd be actually kind of cute.
Okay, so it was too much communication for you, too early on. It was like, what did it feel like? A little clingy, maybe, or?
Yeah, it felt like, over the top clingy, yeah.
Let me bring Ross in, because there should be no surprise to you that Ross is on the call. He wanted to see if we were having a good morning.
Right.
So, Ross, you get her phone number, and you just think, like, okay, that's my cue to start calling. Because I think a lot of people in this day and age, they want even a text before you call, even if you know them. Like, hey, you free? Can we chat?
Yes.
Because people are busy or they don't like to talk on the phone as much anymore. But you didn't do that.
No, I mean, damn, sorry if I was interested.
I gotta say, we've heard so much worse. Like, this is not the worst thing. You could not have answered the phone, Kelly, I suppose. If you didn't want to talk to him, you could have just let it go to voicemail and maybe established a boundary that way. But the dude, it's hard for me not to see his side because it might have been too much, but how many men on the dating apps, myself included, have done too little?
I mean, that's fair. But, I think there's definitely a lot of middle ground between calling 5 times in a row and not calling at all. I think one call would have been okay. Just to be like, hey, this is my voice.
So then say something.
I mean, I suppose, Kelly, you could have said, hey, I'm not a phone talker, or not answered the phone. And I think after maybe a couple of times of you not answering the phone, hopefully he would have gotten it. It's not as though he was calling you over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Like in a single setting until you picked up, he was calling you at the end of the day. Like, I understand why that's not for everybody, but we've heard so much worse.
Women always talk about, I want a gentleman. I want someone, I want a man who's gonna be proactive and do more and so I'm doing that. I'm calling and that's a turnoff. Then all right, cool. I'll find someone that will. Like, come on.
Listen, like I guess I appreciate like the sentiment, but like being a gentleman doesn't mean you call someone you just met late at night multiple days in a row, Like, again, one instance of that would have been fine, but like 5 times is not cool for me. Like, especially like you don't know what it's like as a woman to just like receive calls from people. It's just like it instantly puts you in this like scary.
I'll tell you what, like I don't know.
Say something.
Yeah, scary. I think might. I'm not here to tell you how to feel, but I've had people before say, like, when I get their phone number before I meet them, hey, do you want to chat? And they're like, no, I'd rather wait till we meet. Like, or hey, I'm not going to give you my number. Like, I'd rather just meet. And then if I'm comfortable with the date, then I'll give you my number and then we can go from there. I just think if this is something that was important to you or you were bothered by it, I think if you had said something to him, like, hey, I would rather not talk till the date, or I'm not a big phone talker, or hey, let's just chat on Friday or whatever, and then he keeps calling, well, then I think he's gone, he's broken a boundary.
Right.
But you didn't say that, so I think it's hard for me to not think maybe he's just trying, which I feel like women do say all the time, I wish a guy would try harder, except in this case, you wish he hadn't tried hard, which is kind of tough for a guy to know when he's not supposed to try hard.
I just didn't want him to misconstrue me as being rude, and like, I wanted us to start off on the right foot and like give him the benefit of the doubt. But I also, like, if I'm going to date someone, I want them to like know without asking that calling somebody 5 nights in a row when we're essentially strangers is too much. Like, that should just be something you should know.
So you didn't want to be construed as rude, so you just ghost me. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, I see aspects of both sides here, but look, I'll ask the question, Kelly. Do you want to, hit reset here, maybe, and Ross won't call you until the date. You guys can go on the date and see if it works out. I mean, I think I see where his intentions were, and I also think I see why you were hoping he would sort of get the drift. But do you want to try or no?
I think that we're too far gone at this point.
Too far gone.
Right.
All right.
She want a man that don't talk to her at all. Yeah. And I understand.
Oh, but if he doesn't talk enough, I bet
Right.
it's probably not going to be great. So he needs to talk the right amount, but not...
Only talk when I talk to you.
Yeah.
Speak when spoken
Understood.
to.
Understood. Yeah,
I
got him. Hey, Ross, look, I don't think you're a bad guy. I think, maybe we got to read the room a little bit here, but I can also see the mixed message, or I can see where you were thinking and that you were trying, and I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I wish you guys both the best of luck.